Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. So you all must be familiar with the US dollar, and today we are going to talk about how a common man killed the US dollar. Waldo Emerson once said, "The value of a dollar is social as it is created by the society." And similarly, Theodore Roosevelt once said, "No man should receive a dollar unless it is fairly earned." Who would have thought that the US dollar would be vulnerable to a single person? But that's true. You might have heard of the saying, "What gives you power might take it away too." This aligns well with the US dollar. You might not be aware of how US dollar has a stance on a global stage. Some call it as dinosaur's juice and some call it as gold. But it is, yes, it's oil, the most valuable resource on earth and the substance that powers the globe. Oil is about to undergo a significant transition. The three most powerful leaders in the world are about to undergo an event that is going to lead to the demise of the US dollar. We all are connected to the US dollar in one way or the other. Either we earn it or we spend it on our purchases online, or other countries are connected through trade, and US dollar is connected to oil in one way or the other. Over the past 50 years, oil has given strength to the US dollar. It was only in the past few weeks that the US dollar didn't got any gain from oil, which can lead and affect everyone's quality of life. Talking about the past, every US dollar that was in circulation worldwide had to be backed by an equivalent amount of gold stored in American vaults. But then, in 1971, President Richard Nixon removed the US dollar from the gold standard. Nixon gave a lot of very diplomatic reasons for why this happened. But many people think that the real reason was that the US was simply running out of gold. People often cite this period as the last time the US dollar was linked to any substantial. However, this isn't precisely accurate, since the US dollar was linked to oil just 2 years after the US exited the gold standard, which is a much more important and necessary commodity. And how did it all go by? Israel was at war in 1973 with a group of Arab nations. Israel won, and the anguished other side wanted to deliver a strong message and punish the countries who supported Israel. At that time, Saudi Arabia was the leader of OPEC, banning countries that supported Israel in the war and selling oil to countries such as Canada, the United Kingdom, Japan, and the United Kingdom countries, and a lot of oil from the Middle East. Exported, global oil prices soared. Oil prices soared 300%, and a major global oil crisis began. You see, the state of the world can change quickly with just one decision. Suffering from the oil crisis, the United States realized the situation going out of hands, and yes, something had to be done. Something to stabilize the price of oil, and discussions with Saudi Arabia started. To end the 1974 crisis, the United States signed an agreement with Saudi Arabia. The agreement included a guarantee that the United States would provide security to the country and sell more weapons, but the United States would get more value in return to help stabilize the oil prices. The icing on the cake was that Saudi Arabia agreed to trade their oil production in US dollars. The domino effect struck began, and every other oil exporter in the world began to do the same. Today, over 80% of the oil exported and produced is settled in US dollars. Also, the golden deal that was struck between Saudi Arabia and US has provided financial economy to US that billions of dollars are traded in that currency, and also because of that, the oil economy has been stable over the past 50 years. Let's fly back to Saudi Arabia. Who controls all the wealth? It all comes down to one man, Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud, the crown prince of Saudi Arabia. Although he's not yet king, he's basically ruling the entire country in place of his father, King Salman. He possesses total authority over nearly everything in Saudi Arabia. He has financial control over both the country's National Wealth Fund and Aramco, which is the oil producer. Therefore, if he wants to decide to alter how Saudi Arabia conducts business with the rest of the world, he can do that. And if he does, it will not only alter Saudi Arabia's relations with the rest of the world but can also cause the US dollar to completely collapse. China is the second largest oil consumer in the world, and like everyone else, they are also required to pay for oil in US dollars. And US and China are biggest rivals on the international stage, and buying oil in US dollars means they are giving more power to their rival. But this is the situation which is not going to last for long, because Saudi Arabia has recently announced that they would not be requiring China to pay for the oil in US dollars, which means they can now buy oil in their currency, that is yuan. Following the same domino effect, other countries would also demand the same, which means US dollar would not be required to pay for oil and US dollar would be devalued soon. The shield would be investing in different currencies, which means US dollar would fade away and would decline, and other things like gold, silver would also follow the same. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel, to hit the bell icon, and also don't forget to check out our book.